Not every terrorist is a bad guy. Some of them. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Welcome back, guys, you delightful dandelions, to another downright dodgy episode of Radio Rufus. That's right, there was no episode last week, so this is something like a comeback special. I feel like Fat Elvis in 1968 when his
Michael
career
Jordan whenever he came back from retirement.
But he was dog shit, so that's not a good analogy, is it?
No, he retired once and then came back and won another couple.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I forgot about it. I thought you meant his second retirement,
Nah.
but he never came back from that. But this podcast has risen from the ashes. 1 week gone. The Phoenix returns. Caw-caw, caw-caw. Very angry. People got very angry about
They did.
it. Absolutely.
Can't say I blame them.
Most hate I've ever gotten since I revealed that I get pineapple chunks in the meal deal.
I don't think it was that bad, but
I got put to the sword. I got hung, drawn, and quartered like Prime Guy Fawkes. But anyway, I am Rufus Rice. This is Radio Rufus. I'm joined, as always, by my furry co-host. That's not even a joke. You are a furry man.
I'm not a fairy, but I'm furry.
Right. You're not an IT manager in a fox costume pegging someone on a Tuesday.
Not yet.
Not yet. And this week, we are joined in the Coliseum of content by, that's pretty good,
Pretty good, yeah.
by a man who can only be described as if Wario from the Mario games was a human. He's a stand-up, sit-down, stay toxic comedian. It's Red Richardson. Welcome, Red, to the studio.
Hello.
How are you doing, Red?
Good, I'm in.
It appears from sort of the tone of your voice and the way you're acting today that you've contracted some kind of viral illness.
Yeah, I feel quite sick. I think I got COVID.
COVID?
Yeah, one of the ones. It's good to be here.
Well, if you ever want fancy coughing in my face
Yeah.
throughout the show, feel free. Come on, get it over.
These aren't just props. This works.
Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't get you to talk into
No,
it, I don't think.
cool.
Yeah. Off the back of an Australian and New Zealand
Yeah,
tour, right?
got back a week ago.
Got back a week ago. How did you find them?
It's good. It's sort of it's far. You wonder why anyone is there. You know what I mean?
One of the main problems is how far.
Yeah, it's 41 hour. Like no, New Zealand to door from Auckland to home was 41 hours. It's fucking stupid.
Yeah, it's too far.
Too far.
How many wanks did you have on the plane journey?
None.
Fuck
I'm gonna
me.
wank on a plane. That's
Mile high tug?
no. Do you do that?
Not on short haul.
No.
I need them to put the lights out and
Yeah.
everyone go to sleep, and then I might have a go.
I cracked in the Uber from Heathrow. That was
Right, okay,
The
yeah.
longest flight I've been on is Liverpool to Belfast, and even then I managed one.
Right.
really.
Liverpool to
That's
Belfast,
about 40 minutes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
couldn't go 40 minutes.
It's just, you know, whenever the sort of the turbulence is hitting that sort of way.
Fuck's sake. How long's this pod then? How long do you usually record for?
Oh, that's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you trying to gauge many wanks?
Yeah, I wonder how long you can go with that wank.
If you're lucky enough to live in the pulsating metropolis of Brisbane, you would have seen Red in the Pleasure Dome,
Yeah.
which I enjoyed from your tour poster. That's a nice place for a spot, isn't it?
What, have you been there?
No, I haven't been there.
Oh, it's just
but
called the Pleasure Dome.
It's just nice, isn't it? I hope one day you and I could maybe be laughing in the Pleasure Dome,
Yeah.
so to speak.
Sure.
I googled the Pleasure Dome because I'd never heard of the venue. First thing that came up was a gay sauna about 20 minutes from here.
Yeah.
If you aren't
To be
busy
fair,
after.
you guys would both look at home in a very gay
It's a good name for a gay sauna.
It is,
Pleasure
yeah.
Dome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird that I did that gig. There was a guy in the front who
That's
was
what I call
wearing.
my bell end.
There's a guy in the front wearing an Art Attack t-shirt, which I thought was Rolf Harris's show, and I got it wrong. And I was like, "Why are you wearing that?" He was a nonce. And then I got about 100 messages after going, "Matt, you got it wrong."
Neil Buchanan.
And I was there going, "Look at this dick." First 10 minutes of the show,
Yeah.
and everyone's just going, "He's wrong."
Just slandered me.
Yeah.
I bet Mr. Maker was fuming. He didn't even get a mention. He's not even third place.
Yeah.
A lot of people think Neil
Yeah.
Buchanan's the real Banksy.
Really?
Yeah. Don't know if there's anything to that, but a lot of rumours online.
Yeah.
Strange one.
Well, because you think like his miserable career as a children's TV show artist would drive him to make
That's not what I'm saying.
revolutionary graffiti.
Yeah, you'd think you'd do it the other way around. You'd secretly do Art Attack. and actually be Banksy.
Yeah, no one wants to own up to being on Art Attack. Yeah.
Something happened to one of them though. It was coke, wasn't it? Bathtub, something.
No, I think you're thinking of the cocaine they found in Barney's tail.
Okay, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
What the fuck's this?
It all gets mixed up. But the thing is, anything that was on in the 90s, you assume there was a nonce behind something.
Barney the purple dinosaur
Yeah.
was a drug smuggler, which I think is preferable to a nonce.
Was he drug-
As a character on a kids' TV show, I think that's the
Who was doing coke off the turtle? That was Blue Peter. It's all, unfortunately, it's all
someone
muddled
was
up.
banging lines off.
Yeah.
The Blue Peter.
Yeah, Richard Bacon. I think he was doing coke off the turtle, the resident turtle on Blue Peter.
Doesn't the badge get you a discount?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'm enjoying having you here because you are one of the few people whose name is almost as silly as mine.
Yeah, Rufus Rice. Is that your real name?
That is my real name.
Yep, same.
Yeah. My name means red in Latin.
What, Rufus?
Yeah.
Does it actually?
Well, it sort of means ginger, but
Yeah, you go with
I'm
that.
going to slide past that.
Rufus is it's a dog's name usually, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Woof woof, baby, yeah.
And big dog.
I got told that I knew people who had dogs.
Yeah, my auntie had a dog called Rufus, German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Passed
The whole
away,
fact,
sadly.
that wasn't the whole fact that I knew people who had dogs. That was
No.
a shit fact.
Yeah, go on, carry on.
No, well, it was the whole fact. We've just got some other... We tend to not ask the guest about things that you can easily Google.
Okay.
But we will just quickly state that you auditioned for Harry Potter and then lied in your stand-up about getting deep enough to audition personally for the director.
I did audition for the director. Yeah.
That's true.
That is true.
We were certain that was bullshit.
No, that's actually true. But I used to tell people I got to the final three just to try and drum up some press and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not true.
Draw some
Well, I don't know how far I got. There was about 10,000 people auditioned, so fuck knows. But I did do 2.
Okay. Nice.
Did you get scouted for that? Did someone just come up?
No, they
Yeah, 'cause you
they
don't-
were doing.
I'll be honest, you don't fucking look like Harry Potter.
Oh no, not anymore. No, they. But what did he look like? Before Daniel Radcliffe, no one knew. So
Yeah, that's-
could have been me.
Do you think he was like buff, ripped, tan?
No, he's a little dweeb, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a little dweeb.
Yeah, but I was 9, so I wasn't the high value Sigma male you see before you.
Right. Yeah.
So
Okay.
position for dweebness.
Do you think you would have come at the role of Harry Potter with that angle?
No, the thing is why I actually regret ever saying it for press because it's literally everything I do now, and we rehash it.
It overshadows your career.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to the other thing that.
A lie overshadows my career.
Yeah. We'll move on to the other thing that we can easily Google about you, which was when Ollie M tweeted that there had been gunshots in Oxford Circus.
Yeah.
And that caused a stampede,
Yeah.
which injured people. The Oxford Circus panic of 2017.
Yeah.
One of the great panics.
Were you
in my
there?
opinion. No, I wasn't there. What were you doing during the Oxford Circus panic?
We all remember where we were on that day.
What date was it? Is it just some random day?
I can't fucking remember. I was there and I
It
can't
was
remember.
on a day,
Yeah.
one of them.
I think it was at Christmas shopping, so I think it was around that time, wasn't it?
Okay, well, I was probably...
I was playing Fortnite 100%.
Okay, you're getting a quick dub.
Yeah.
I was... Well, Christmas 2017, so that would have been
I can't remember.
You'd
what
have
day
been
it was.
15.
15, so it's the year after the circumcision. And I know you laugh at that, but that is true.
How old were you when you got circumcised?
Well, 12, 14?
Yeah.
12 or 14.
Have you seen those men in America fighting back with the "We Want Our Foreskin Back" t-shirts?
Yeah, no, I'm
You're there.
really on board.
But what would it be now? They're just going to get a shriveled bit of skin.
I think my knob would have gone
run
blue
off into the woods with it.
I think if it hadn't happened, my knob would have gone blue and fallen off.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm probably...
So much gonorrhea. Or...
Yeah,
Not at
right.
15.
Yeah, because I had loads of gonorrhea at 8.
You got it since.
No, I wasn't 15. I was 14.
Yeah.
Let's be reasonable.
Yeah. Why did you do it? Is that just...
This is not relevant.
Okay, yeah, sorry. Let's carry on. I don't think... I've not heard of a 15-year-old getting... It's usually younger, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I lost a bet. No, I got... What was I doing? Christmas 2017.
Yeah.
It was Indonesian Christmas, maybe, or
Yeah.
maybe it was in Devon. Those are the two
Okay,
options. It was
where in
either
Devon?
in Indonesia or Devon.
My mum and dad... I just been in Devon.
Yeah?
Yeah.
My grandparents from Tiverton.
Okay.
Yeah. Such a
Is that
boring
not the name of that biscuit you told me about a while ago?
What, the Tiverton biscuit?
Tim Tam.
No, you came in with a real posh.
Tunnocks.
No.
Caramel wafer.
Tiffin.
Tiffin.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really a
Got those
biscuit though, is
confused.
it?
What is it?
It's a tray bake.
Okay.
But yeah, so what? Terrorist attack. Ollie Murs.
Do you know about the Ollie Murs bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ollie
So
Murs started
He was
this.
there. He was tweeting from I think it was like H&M basement. And
Yeah,
probably a
shots.
shots, bag full of the worst clothes you've ever fucking seen in your life. You know, paint ripped jeans and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think he was in the basement, and he started tweeting. What was funny is he started arguing with Piers Morgan on Twitter whilst it's all going on. So you imagine your final moments in a Twitter spat. Ollie Murs v Piers Morgan. But it was interesting, like watching people. The amount of people went into Costas and Pretz and barricaded the doors, and would literally sit there with their fingers in their ears and their eyes closed whilst people banged on it.
What's funny is Aidan is so working class. Even in a shooting, he wouldn't go into Pret.
Where would you go? It was
It's
Oxford
not like
Street.
a Cafe Nero. That's like the working man's.
Yeah, you could get in there. Yeah.
That's a blue collar Pret. Yeah.
You don't know how you'd react in that situation, though. Like, you like to think
No, you'd run.
do the right
I think
thing.
everyone ran. No one did the right thing.
Yeah.
No, there was not one hero.
I think that is the right thing.
Yeah.
What do you want me to do? Take a bullet?
For someone you've never met.
For Ollie Murs?
For Ollie fucking Murs, yeah, exactly. But he's still he's not over it, and so he actually revisited it because I think he gets asked about it quite a lot.
Yeah.
And he said, well, something happened that day, and he thinks it's a cover up. I think you're just
So
embarrassed.
he's just he's spreading misinformation.
Yeah,
So this-
all the time. I think he can't handle it because he looked so stupid afterwards.
He's that embarrassed about shitting himself in a H&M change.
Yeah, completely. But the fact is he. I mean, if you were there, you get it. Like, it felt like a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
It was everything but a terrorist attack.
everything but the shots.
It was all the real, but those helicopters flying and stuff like that. Like for 10 minutes, everyone thought, even the police and police everywhere. Like, I saw a woman. The reason I saw it was I walked down the street and this woman, she had blood all over her face because she'd been fallen over and been stepped on by all the men in I'm a feminist t-shirts, and but she got up and was just like, run, and I was like, fucking hell. It was also that time when there was loads of terror attacks.
Yeah, it was really in vogue, wasn't it?
It was hot right at the
They've
moment.
fallen off, those guys.
Oh, they'll be back.
They're planning something big, I think.
Yeah.
Don't say that. So, you didn't get trampled personally?
No, I ran to the top floor of a building and lay under a table.
Right. Because I was going to say that you would make a fine steed.
What for running on?
Yeah, like if all the horses died,
Or like a hog?
not really, but like you're a hardy figure.
Yeah, but what for?
I would entrust you to carry the load.
Well, there's tubes nearby. They could have run down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem like the man who has the potential to deliver the unwavering service of a trusty stallion.
Yeah, I could do that, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you trample over anyone personally?
No. I remember
Good
like...
opportunity to sort of get one over.
Yeah, there's a few. Actually, I ran up the stairs and there's just this woman running with me. She ran into the building, and she just stopped, and I was like, "Come on, let's go." And she was like, "No, I'm staying here." So I ended up just leaving her there because it was like, "Well,
Yeah.
I've never met you. This is your choice."
Yeah.
I'd be going straight for the meat shield, I think.
Yeah. Well, the worst thought is that because if I go to the top floor, by the time they get for me, supposing they're using guns,
Yeah.
less ammo than at the bottom floor.
That's
Yeah.
that. I wouldn't have thought to do that, but that's just because I think that terrorist attacks and earthquakes are the same.
Also, certain terror attacks you don't want to be at the
Yeah.
floor.
Act of God.
That's true. Yeah, you don't. It's not always better to be on the top floor.
You never know. They could have been doing what's a triathlon of terror, where plane fucking
The triathlon of terror.
yeah, plane, lorry,
I have to
guns.
say that's a new term.
I think
Is it plane, lorry, guns? Is that-
Yeah, well, what's the usual? So it's plane, bomb, gun. And a few knives have been used, and
Let's make it a heptathlon.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Suicide bomber needs to be through in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they're doing all that, it's going fucking nuts. It's crackers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Should we move on to the
Yeah. Cheers.
Cool. Well, this is not news, and our top story this week: a British teenager has just broken the record for the craziest gap year of all time, swapping the beaches of Ibiza for the courtrooms of Georgia after she was arrested in the capital Tbilisi on suspicion of drug offences. Have you heard about this story, Red?
No, what? Oh, I think she's facing like 40-something years. Is she 23 or something?
Bella Cully, she's 18.
Fuck's sake.
So literal gap year.
Yeah.
She's from Teesside.
Oh, no.
And I have to say, looking at this picture, I don't mean to make fun of people, but she does look like if an Ibiza final boss was a woman.
Yeah.
She's got Ocean Beach in the diary.
Yeah.
Ryanair season
I was
ticket.
about to
And she
say.
definitely bought Klarna.
Wayne Lineker on speed dial.
She's got a lot of pictures with Wayne
There's
Lineker.
definitely at least 2
Yeah.
selfies on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Only drinks Grey Goose, wears Gymshark on almost day, and her garden is AstroTurf. But we don't like to make fun of people on this show.
Yeah.
So she went missing in Thailand, and has now been charged with illegally buying, possessing, and importing large quantities of narcotics into Georgia. But she went missing in Thailand.
Okay.
Right. If found guilty, she faces 20 years in prison.
God.
In a Georgian prison,
Ooh.
which is basically the gulag.
Yeah. He's going to be in a gulag. Gap 20 years.
I mean, you couldn't really... I mean, great story for the kids, but...
No.
Yeah.
Oh. I wonder if there's a boyfriend at home that she left to go train. You know what I mean? Some sort of...
Well, I think he'd be quite happy.
Yeah, that's what I mean,
Yeah, because she's definitely going to shag some backpacking in Thailand, and now she's ended up in a Georgian police station.
So what do you think happened? She went in Thailand. She meets gang.
There's a lot of questions surrounding this. So the quantity of the drugs is quite an important aspect, because there was like 12 kilograms of marijuana, which even if you're sort of 1993 Snoop Dogg and he had a good year.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot of weed.
Yeah, that's a lot.
4 kilograms of hash. I don't really know what that is.
I thought it was the same thing, hash and weed.
I know.
Hash is the block. So hash is brown block form. Weed will be the green leaf.
So you could build a house out of hash, maybe.
Yeah, but someone takes a lighter to it. And,
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
yeah. Or it depends as well in the sun. It might melt.
It's just a sunny day. And
Sunny day.
Right. Oh yeah,
It would have to be quite hot.
like the
but-
chocolate Taj Mahal from Charlie and the Chocolate.
Yeah, a bit stronger, more durable than that. I'd take the hash over the Taj Mahal. No, the chocolate, sorry.
Yeah.
Apparently-
I'd take the hash over the Taj Mahal as well.
Apparently, the average spliff has 0.32 grams of weed in it. So she had enough for 37,500.
So 7 kilos probably looks like that. You know, I don't know what was that in her bag.
Well, it's basically a full suitcase.
Yeah, you could carry on luggage.
Yeah.
And they go, can you open them? Oh, fuck's sake.
You basically put it in the overhead.
Yeah. And it would stink as
I
well.
bet the whole time, you know, when they make you measure it in that little grate.
Yeah.
The whole time, just going, please don't make me open it.
I would just start an OnlyFans if I were her. That seems like a safer approach.
Bit late now.
It is. Well, prison OnlyFans might pop. Gulag.
I feel like the guards would get onto that if they found that.
Yeah.
They'd be involved. Look,
Yeah,
like
probably.
J.P. Wandsworth
That's
shit.
true.
Yeah.
So she was charged with the illegal purchase and possession of a particularly large amount of narcotics, the illegal purchase and possession of marijuana, and the illegal importation. So she now sits in custody in a police station. Unfortunately for her, not only do they have an absolute minimum of 55 days to collect evidence, this period, the prosecution could extend by 7 months before she even gets a trial.
Fucking hell.
They don't need to have the evidence first.
Yeah, I would have. Well, unless they've smoked all of it, I don't know.
Yeah.
But they've arrested her and be like, right, just give us 8 months and we'll prove you guilty.
Well, have you seen that guy in Dubai as well last week?
What happened?
He got caught with 0.5 gram of coke in Dubai. Smart move.
Yeah.
And
I did see that.
yeah, they go and raid his house. He's a father of one, 32 years old, from not Teesside, but I think it's Derby or something.
Okay.
I can't remember where he's from. Anyway, tattooist. And he's got 40 years in prison. He'll be out when he's
40 years.
72 years old when he's out.
Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable.
So it's 80 years per gram of cocaine you do.
Well, no, sorry. They searched his house and he had 28 grams, which is an ounce. Was it 25? What's an ounce again? 28? I can't remember.
I have no
It's
idea.
in that region.
How long would
An
it
ounce
take
of coke isn't actually that much. You know, that's how Elton John's week in the 80s.
It's not 14 kilograms of marijuana.
No, but I suppose
the
coke's
exchange-
considered.
the exchange rate is-
Yeah, it's a lot higher.
Yeah.
But I don't know why. Apparently, drugs are big in Dubai, and I don't know why they would be when the risk. Can you imagine doing a bump and spending 15 years in
It's a
prison?
risky bump.
Can you imagine also the come down as well? Where, which is, you could be in Bali and have done coke the night before and feel like shit. Imagine if you wake up in a Dubai cell. And the Daily Mail did a story going, the family are distraught, and then they go, apparently the inmates are subjected to daily rapes. You have to fucking say that.
Yeah, leave that bit out.
The family are distraught. He's getting, it's just like, all right.
I didn't know about that bit.
What?
That seems a bit gay.
What, the daily rapes?
Yeah.
Well, it is gay, isn't
Sounds like a
it?
newspaper.
That's not. They don't like that kind of stuff. That's kind of.
It's jail, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
He goes in jail, I think.
Yeah.
No windows.
Well, I've heard as long as you don't have a beard, you're considered a woman in jail. But
We're all fucked to some degree.
no, what do you mean? We're absolutely sound, mate.
Yeah.
We're not getting
Look
any
at us,
action.
3 Stanley. Oh yeah, true,
Yeah.
Prison tuggies only. Yes, yeah, of course. So then, at the end of the hearing, nice little detail here. Bella Cully drops the bombshell that every man hates to hear, that she's pregnant.
Oh, God. Well, no.
So she's also bearing a child for the gang, if it is to be believed.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of questions. What was
Yeah.
she doing in Thailand? I mean, in my opinion, clearly someone's just pointed an AK-47 at her. And been like, you're going to take these drugs to Georgia, I think.
Or said, here's 10 grand, and she's like, yeah, and they go, it works every time. People are pretty stupid. This happens quite a lot. There was these 2 guys in South America. I think it's always young British women. So, and what was the Bali ones? Bali 7? They all got killed.
Australia.
Yeah. So this happens.
Well, like, she wasn't hiding it. She had TikTok videos up, like, rubbing through, like, thousands of pounds worth of money and, like, smoking
Oh, she's a fucking idiot.
I
And so I think we've gone to the bottom.
I
of this.
love when gang members have a take.
It's so, what's it called? Dry snitching. When you snitch on yourself. I love it when they do a rap and they talk about killing people. And it's like, that's actually true.
There were two guys who got arrested in Cardiff, I think,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, who were running drugs out of a Premier Inn,
Yeah.
and they had that thing on the door being like, "Do not disturb," so they wouldn't get found out.
Oh, that's really
which
good.
is about as secure as
Well,
incognito mode.
the police can't legally go beyond the door if you've got that.
No, it's 100% guaranteed protection. But what happened was they forgot to put it on, and then they cleaned their room, and there was a lot of drugs
Okay, no. So it did actually work
for a bit. Yeah.
There was that gang as well who stood in front of their some fucking Mercedes, and they all had machine guns and stuff, but they didn't blur out their license plate.
Oh, right.
And the police were
Yeah.
like, right, who owns this?
You see it a lot these days with everyone starting a podcast, and it's people that were in like real notorious gangs in the 80s and the 80s, and they're like, you can't say anything, you can't tout. Now they're talking about it.
Well, they're like fucking Italian mafia guys talking about
You get it with
killing
like
people in the
IRA
80s.
people.
Yeah. It's weird. Everyone does. I saw these kids the other day. They were about 17. And one was talking about how in school he's not to be fucked with. I don't know if you've seen that. He goes, I'm the guy to put it this way. There was a problem. You have a black eye or an apology. And you're like, but they're recording themselves. And he'll never live that down.
It's like a fucking shit but a Guy Ritchie script or something.
Yeah.
I have a favourite podcast that is, it's like these 16-year-olds from Essex or Kent or somewhere. And all they talk about is like things that they have no idea about. Like they're all trying to be adults.
Yeah.
But because they're 16 and they still get given Jaffa cakes to take to school by their mum.
Yeah.
Like it comes off really funny. So they're talking about holiday destinations. They're all like, so like, basically like, they're all like this. And this guy was like, well, if you do Marbella right, you're calm.
And that's the end of the clip.
That's it.
No more context. Them same people done like a 2-minute.
It's clearly his mum's new husband has a place out there or something like that. He knows the
Probably a
Wi-Fi
club
password. Yeah.
Yeah.
It said, by the way, at the end
were
of this
like-
article that she hired a celebrity lawyer. I didn't expect the celebrity to be fucking
Michael Jackson.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
The spit of
Plot twist.
It looks like Michael Jackson in the second half of his career for all the listeners.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's like 2008 MJ.
in prime. This is fucking prime Michael Jackson. He looks incredible.
And so how far is she? She didn't get pregnant in jail. It was pre-jail.
I don't think. Well, I don't think the police holding cell. Like, I don't think that's likely. So it's either the gap year backpacker or the gang guy with the Glock.
How likely do you think the gang guy with the Glock, if it is him, is? How likely do you think he's going to be in the picture?
I think it's going to be difficult to get some child support out of him.
What happens to that child then?
Because the kid's
Well,
probably, the kid's enough of a off-putting thing for him, let alone coming forward to then
Yeah,
entertain the potential jail time that comes with. He's back in Magaluf, isn't he? That guy. He's changed his number. He's at EE right now getting a new SIM card.
Yeah. As soon as this story popped up, he smashed his phone.
He literally, his BBC News app sent him a notification. He went, "Oh shit!" Flew off the side of the speedboat.
He walked down to the end of Brighton Pier and chucked it in the sea. Right. Let's move on to our next story now. And a Pennsylvania woman nicknamed the Delco Shitter is facing multiple charges after admitting to curling out a brown steamer on the bonnet of someone else's car during a defecation-themed road rage incident. So she's charged with disorderly conduct, criminal mischief, harassment, and depositing waste on the highway.
Criminal mischiefs are fun. I've not heard that before. I like that term.
Like, I
cheeky,
think,
isn't it? You go in silly jail.
Yeah. I think once the poo comes out, it's not mischief
It's
anymore.
not.
Like,
So what did she do? She squatted on his bonnet and just shat on it.
mischief is pre-poo.
Well, no, mischief is, putting a whoopee cushion on someone's chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not shitting on someone.
But this is essentially fly tipping.
Yeah.
So
She's just, rolling like Amber Heard.
she is rolling like prime Amber Heard on Johnny Depp's bed. So apparently what happened was the other driver, called Christina Solomito, who is 44 years of age, by the way, a derogatory name. But given that she's like a straight white woman, there's quite a limited arsenal of terms there. What do you think it was?
Karen,
Yeah.
fat slag,
Yeah,
bitch,
Could have been.
fucking whore, and I don't know, any of them, yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
What are you
I still
regarding
think
with?
all of those are quite unlikely.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So she said, I wanted to punch her in the face, talking about the other driver, but I pooped on her car instead and went home. Fortunately, a bystander recorded and uploaded her shitting on the car onto Instagram Reels, where it went fecal. So that's still up there. You can see the brown sort of slop on the bonnet there.
So she's not stood on it, she's sort of perched against it and just shat all over it.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I think for the angle I would have probably got on the bonnet, but she's sort of...
But she's risking the woman driving off, but then she's still risking being driven into. I think it makes more of I think it's more dignified to stand on the bonnet.
Yeah.
There's something quite King Kong about it,
I pictured her shitting on the windscreen.
Oh, really? What,
Yeah.
crawling on the roof?
What, like a seagull?
Yeah.
That'd have been a lot worse. Having to fucking wipe that off.
I was hoping it was going to be... Because if it was me, maybe it's not possible with this car, but I think through the sunroof would be...
It's hardly property damage, is it? I mean, it's not permanent.
I don't know. I wouldn't say that car's in tip-top shape.
No.
Like, if I turned up to buy a second-hand car and it had a shite on the bonnet, I wouldn't...
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would be in the best of moods about it. But that's up to you. So, she was quickly apprehended by the Pennsylvania Rozzers. She was identified quite easily, as you might imagine. And this is what she said in like a post-game press conference. She was like, it was a clean poo. I didn't even have to wipe.
That is not a clean poo.
It's not. It's liquid.
And you do have to wipe, you know?
You always have to at least chance it.
Yeah.
You have to wipe to make sure. It takes one wipe to realise you needed zero.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And that's a good slogan for life, isn't it?
Yeah. Or if there's a cum Andrex, if you want to use that.
Yeah.
Although it's sort of like you don't really need toilet paper, I guess is what it means.
Do you ever have one of those where you think you've done like a ghosty and you do like 2 wipes, there's nothing, but then you soon realise that there was something lurking in there?
Oh, a false ghosty.
Yeah.
But how do you realise what later in the day when you stick
like,
your own
"Fuck,
thumb
this
up your
is
ass?
right," like, yeah, occasionally.
Well, is it like the old poo lasagna that we've touched on this podcast before?
What's that?
It's where you do a poo, right? And then you wipe a bit, and then like you think, well, I'm done here, cool. But then the second half of the poo comes along,
Yeah.
formulates sort of a new layer. So you've basically got it going up like
Yeah.
poo sheets, poo. Like sort of lasagna.
Yeah. That's good.
Right. The police, in an official report, described the shit as an accumulation of liquefied human feces and a brownish glop, which they've absolutely nailed looking at that. The bail was $10,000, so it's quite a lot to put up. to spend a penny these days.
Imagine not being your wife and having to go and bail her out of prison.
You probably wouldn't bail her out, would you?
you'd
You'd leave her there. So think about what you've done.
Throw my phone
yeah.
off the end of a pier and move on with my life.
I'm not wasting 10 grand.
Even worse,
You
imagine
shout on someone's car, you psychopath.
Imagine this being your mum and having to go into school the next day.
I don't know if she's got a husband or kids, but I would probably
Doubt it.
I'd probably guess no.
And if she does, that's not out of the blue. It's not like she just knits all day and tweets about Palestine. I think she's a.
Are you suggesting she's a serial offender?
Yeah, you don't just do that one day, do you?
No, definitely not.
She's been edging towards that.
Especially how efficient it was. She's thought this through before.
Straight out.
Yeah.
No time wait. She was like Aunt Middleton.
Wait, did she take her jeans off before she got out of it?
She probably wasn't wearing any.
It's an efficient operation.
It's a lot more American though, isn't it? They go so extreme.
She's actually quite fit.
Look at that, the close-up.
Oh, the close-up of the poo is awful. Oh, did you see that? I just saw as you slid by there. The word in question was slut.
Okay,
Yeah.
I wasn't far off.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're spot on.
Right, let's move on to our next story now. And we're back to the weed.
Okay.
We're like, I can't say that. That's too personal. I knew someone with a drug problem.
What was it? A weed problem?
Yeah, well, that was one of them.
Yeah, one of them. Okay.
But it's arguably the problem was he didn't have enough drugs.
Okay. Yeah.
He would
Yeah.
get upset when he ran out.
Yeah.
So, like, he needed more.
Yeah. Sure. What were the other drugs?
What do you get at uni? I mean,
Ketamine, probably.
I think that
yeah.
weed was mostly Earl Grey.
Yeah. Okay.
It was barely weed.
Yeah.
It's sort of like Waitrose
Okay.
herb and spice mix.
Yeah. So you had a tea problem.
Yeah, he did have a tea and herbs. Anyway, the magnificent Turkish town of Lice was puff passing like Snoop Dogg in the 90s when authorities confiscated 20 tons of illegal cannabis and decided to just burn it like bonfire night in the town square.
Okay.
In the centre of town. They just burnt 20 tons of weed. So that actually makes how much that girl was smuggling in look like chump change.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
The kebab shops are going to make a fucking fortune.
Well, that night, because everyone would be walking around. What do you think? Why do they do it in the town centre? Make a statement. This is what happens.
Yeah,
Surely there's a field somewhere that they could have done it in.
Yeah.
Well, where was all that weed growing? Just do it right there.
Yeah, right enough.
Well,
Strange move.
so they decided to just burn it right then and there. So they literally piled it up and then sparked it all. And that is 260 million pounds in street value on the avenues of Sheffield.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a lot of money.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's a lot of weed.
Such a fucking waste.
Yeah, I know.
Surely employ someone to sell it for you and make the money back.
We'll send it somewhere it's legal.
Yeah.
California. Weed
Thailand,
shots.
I found out recently.
Thailand, I went as well. Did you go?
Which is like, Thailand is one of those. Yeah, I've been to Thailand. That's
But it's taken over all the. Because I went about 3 years ago, and then I went, and it's all the sort of. It's changed the whole. You know when it was like I went to Koh Samui, and all the places that were just fucking.
right.
What's the term for the bars where everyone goes to get sucked off? Not brothel out there. What do they call it? Lady bars. They call them.
Okay.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember the
I
what
like
the
it
term.
as a term.
Yeah, it's a good time. You'd see a lot of creepy Euro men with their little backpacks, just clammy palms, walking around on their own.
I don't know if you found this, but sometimes you meet people and I'm like, this guy's going to have an Asian wife one day.
Oh, of course.
You know what I mean?
The worst thing, though, is now, unfortunately, you stereotype every time you see.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You know, so you feel bad for...
Something dodgy about some of those relationships.
Well, because they go out, what do they call them? Losers back home is what it's called in
Is
Asia.
it?
Yeah, so it's white guys who go out who have like, and they go out and they can find some like younger lady that they couldn't get back here.
Is it like a lady or is it a lady with the size of my fucking hands?
No, I think usually,
No,
but
it's a petite woman who definitely doesn't have an Adam's apple.
yeah, but you'll see a 70-year-old guy.
Believe it or not, Aidan, there are actually women in Thailand.
Yes.
I know what goes out in the press.
Yeah.
But I've been there.
Yeah.
But they'll be like, you'll see it all the time. With a guy in his 70s, having the most silent dinner with a 24-year-old, and you go, you guys don't know each other's names barely, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't remember what we were talking about.
It's tough to pronounce some of those names as well, so he hasn't. Got
He's fucked.
Yeah. We were talking about burning
weed in Thailand.
Turkey.
Yeah.
So it took so long to burn the weed that it resulted in basically this thick, billowing smoke cloud. So it took days to burn all of it.
Yeah,
days. Which left 25,000 residents with a second-hand high, which is arguably a bonus.
Yeah.
A slight downside is that they also used 200 litres of diesel to burn it, which was then sent straight into the lungs of the local
Yeah, it must
children.
have fucking stank.
Like
yeah,
fucking
it's
Chernobyl all
ridiculous.
over
Yeah,
again.
you'll have loads of kids.
So-
They'll all be dying at 14.
I think it's a bit like doing some cat, which I've never done actually. I've never experienced that, but none of us. You're too old.
What, cat?
Yeah.
No, I did it when I was
Did
at
you?
uni.
I
Yeah.
didn't realise it was around.
My
actually.
mate got addicted to cat, which I didn't understand because he's just K-holing all the time. Yeah, surely this isn't pleasant.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, he got
Was it
bladder
around- it
problems.
was
You start
around-
pissing yourself, yeah, because it fucks your
that.
bladder up. Yeah, there was another one, Meow Meow was cool when I was at uni. It was MCAT or whatever, and it was fucking disgusting. People got really... Because I went to Kingston University, 72nd best uni in the country, and there was a load of
Was it,
kids...
is it Jamaica?
No,
Oh.
in Surrey.
Sorry.
The other one.
Yeah.
Same vibe. But there was a load of kids who'd come from they were the Saudi kids of disappointed parents who were like, fucking get out of my face. Like, 'cause they couldn't get into any other.
As long as you go to a uni in London.
You just fuck off,
Yeah.
basically, for 3 years. And a lot of them had never drank alcohol or done drugs or anything. And there was
Funny
a
that.
huge load of them got hooked on MCAT.
Right.
And then you suddenly see, 6 months into uni, there would just be this angry-looking Arab dude turn up in a Ferrari and just grab his child by the hair and throw him in the back of, just...
So those guys are now sheiks, right?
yeah, they'll all be sheiks. There's no dent on their record.
Sheiks on cat is something I can get behind.
Sheiks on cat. Also, imagine being able to be a sheik having gotten a third in the 72nd best uni in the country. It's so fucking unqualified.
Yeah. Anyway, this is a quote from a resident of
Okay.
This story, compared to what we've just been talking about, this story is actually not very interesting anymore.
Yeah.
But we'll go through, we'll power through. We've been unable to open our windows for days because of the drug smell. Our children have gotten sick, and we're going back and forth to hospital. As part of the drug bust, they arrested 1,941 people.
That's a lot.
That's got to be like the whole everyone.
Yeah,
All
that
of
is everyone.
That's got to be everyone.
That's too many employees,
You've
I
cleared
think.
house
Yeah,
there.
you really have. Yeah, what are even the jobs for everyone? That's a fucking disaster.
I always think it's funny about this. Like, who's the guy who's like doing admin for the Taliban?
Yeah.
know,
Well,
like-
there has to be an admin, doesn't there?
Yeah, otherwise the system wouldn't work.
It doesn't work.
Like, there's in every sort of regime, there's a boring back end guy, desk jockey sitting in an office doing emails for the.
There's like a social media manager for ISIS, probably.
Yeah.
Well, they do have Twitter. We've been on that.
Well, ISIS.
Yeah, so that they tweet out like policy updates and stuff.
It's weird they stopped in the pandemic as well, and you think, well, surely the whole thing was death. I don't know what.
Yeah, they're worried about social
yeah,
distancing.
Yeah. This is what.
Oh, do you think that's what it was?
No, they say there was some statement, wasn't there, where it was like we're not fucking operating. And
ISIS.
ISIS, everyone needs to stay safe and stuff. And you're like, mate, what are you talking about?
Oh, that is funny.
But there'll be a guy who made tea for 9/11. You know what I mean? That's the weird thing. He was the tea boy in the spreadshirt, and the Excel guy's assistant.
It's hard to do a socially distanced suicide bombing.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
really
it works.
Imagine being in Guantanamo Bay and it's because you fucking.
Well, I don't think you would even find out, right? You're already trapped in that cell by yourself, so it makes no difference.
Yeah.
That is true. It doesn't really make any odds to you.
They got everyone as well. I think they arrested anyone who was on a phone, like the Americans did. That place was full.
Is that who it is? Is it those guys?
Anyone involved, you know.
It was Guantanamo
Yeah,
Bay.
so there would have been a guy who once was a courier and he didn't really know what he's doing, and now he's like strung from his testicles for fucking
tough.
15 years.
It's tough that I mean, I guess if it's the closest prison to you, I don't know what island it's on or whatever. Is it Cuba?
It's off Cuba, isn't it?
Yeah. So if you're an American and you steal like 3 cookies in Cuba, do you get sent to
No.
Guantanamo Bay as well?
It was made after 9/11. so they could get away with. So there's no jurisdiction there. So the guy who Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was he was Bin Laden's kind of director of football, if you know what I mean.
He was head of the FA.
Yeah, but he was the sort of Bin Laden was the face and the charisma, and he was the behind. Bin Laden was the Liam, and then Khalid Sheikh was the Noel. He sort of wrote the songs, but
but very important.
Hugely important.
Yeah.
Some would argue more important. But he.
Well, I think those guys who did the one that crashed in the field.
Yeah.
They're basically the drummer.
Yeah.
I don't even know who he is, and they replaced him with someone else, and I didn't even know.
Oh, God, yeah. Well, remember in Paris when the attacks happened, the guy blew himself up outside the stadium, but it went off before he got in, so he just blew himself up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he killed himself.
Yeah, that's a...
How many virgins does he get?
You
wonder. None. He gets 10 Lily Phillipses.
Is that the opposite?
Probably. That's what you get.
What's the opposite of that? Is that if you go to like Islamic heck?
Yeah, basically. But Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is still in Guantanamo Bay and hasn't seen a lawyer since like 2008.
I think it's fair enough, actually.
Yeah.
Are you trying to defend him?
No, I wonder what he thinks he is now. Do you know what I mean? He's been absolutely, God knows what they've done to him.
Yeah.
Because probably American businessmen paid to go and hit him and stuff, you know.
Fuck yeah. He's just getting whipped every
Once
day.
again, fair enough.
No, I know, yeah. You know, what are we doing for Jared's
I would
Christmas?
love Lily Phillips, if you're watching this, that's a challenge.
Yeah.
I want to see one girl versus 100 inmates.
Yeah,
That's what I want. 100 war criminals in Guantanamo Bay.
Baron Trump probably spent his 8th birthday at Guantanamo Bay just kicking people in the bollocks and stuff.
What, using shake as like a pinata?
Yeah, instead of a pinata, you go, don't worry, remember 9/11? Yeah, we'll go hit that guy for the day.
You could go in and get him back for the Oxford Circus panic.
Yeah.
Get your own back.
Right, should we move on to sports now?
Yep.
And we are visiting the high octane and erotically rhythmic world of speedboat racing.
Yeah.
For Snatch of the Day, that's the name of this segment this week, as a boat went airborne and did a complete backward flip while racing at 200 miles an hour before crashing into an Arizona lake, but still won the race.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a look at this impressive somersault.
Doesn't look like it's going that fast. Until
Oh,
how the fuck does that even happen?
So it just takes off seemingly just nowhere.
How's he not dead?
Well, the two racers inside the boat completely survived.
Really?
The boat went over 30 feet in the air. They said, we're just a bit bruised.
Really?
Yeah.
Good advert for the boat.
No, the boat was more damaged than the people.
Okay. Well.
So the frame of the boat splintered, like just fiberglass, just splintered. But the guys were cool.
How did they still win the race? Just carried on.
So you see those boys that are orange there?
Mm-hmm.
That's the finish line. So
it still counts if they're
So it's actually just an awesome finish.
Yeah.
it's actually just a spectacular. What a finale!
Yeah,
I mean, this is a climax for the ages, guys.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So they still crossed the finish line and they won the race by registering a top speed of 200.1 miles an hour. According to experts, the boat is designed to rise up and hydroplane across the water in tricky conditions, but it just took it a bit far this time.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's supposed to do that, but not that much.
No.
It's supposed to bounce along the top, I guess. Yeah. And the event organizer described the fact that no one was hurt as a, quote, absolute miracle, which I think says a lot about the sport that he's running.
Yeah.
That's true. He was like, thank God these guys didn't die, because that would be a lot of insurance forms to fill out for me. But yeah, so there we go. Should we move on? Today we're playing Vinegar Carousel.
Okay. Would we have to drink vinegar?
Yeah. So...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
We've got 3 bottles of vinegar here, one each. And because nobody told me that they bought those, I also have another 3 here.
Oh, you bought the balsamic. I can tell who bought which one.
Yeah, so I went partial. I went balsamic.
Yeah, of course you did.
But here's some classic Sarsens. I don't know what's better.
Water if you need it.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Maybe you could play 2 rounds, one with each.
What do you do? Why do we have to drink this? I did. I did Big John's podcast. We had to drink something. I can't remember.
I threw up. I did Big John's podcast, and I
Yeah.
tried to out-eat him. And I
Good idea.
ended up. I was like, well, this guy is a fraud.
Yeah.
Clearly, by his build, not a fraud. This guy. But I thought I could take him down. Right.
Yeah.
I've got so full of beer and Chinese that I was like, oh, I need.
Not a good combination.
No.
I need to chun. I need to chun. So I tried to crack open the double doors to his garden so I could go out there.
Was there a dog outside?
And then he said, "Don't go out there.
Yeah.
That dog will rip you to
Yeah,
shreds."
yeah.
I was like, "What the fuck is that?
I wanted to go for a cigarette, and he was like, "Don't."
Don't do that.
Yeah.
The dog will kill you."
Was that the same dog that like nearly bit his hand off?
What in that clip he put up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's just got a murderous dog,
Yeah.
criminal intent hanging around his house. So I went in his downstairs toilet and they filmed all of that and put it on YouTube. So
Lovely.
What filmed you being sick?
yeah, and I said cut it out and they didn't.
How many beers did you have?
Probably about 8.
Nice.
I was just, but it was. I wasn't really drunk. I was just full of gas.
Yeah.
I was had for about 4 plates of Chinese.
What
Yeah.
did you have
Okay.
drinking in the challenge? Was it like sweet and sour sauce or something?
No, we had to drink coffee, but it was like can't remember. It was not like a cup of coffee.
It's
it was
just
a pint,
something with
pint of
something
coffee
with
powder.
shit in it.
Rank.
Yeah.
By the
Someone
way,
ate a
spare
chili.
glass is your spit bucket if you need it.
Yeah,
Why
so
do I
we've
have to
We've all
spit?
got two glasses because unless you're going to drink the vinegar.
This is a new YouTube thing, isn't it? Your generation likes challenges like this.
It's not really a challenge. It's more just a punishment.
We used to just do K back in the day.
Right now.
We should do. That's what we should do. Ketamine carousel.
Yeah.
Where we do a cheeky bump in between each. One.
Yeah.
I fucking
So-
hate vinegar too.
I like vinegar a lot.
Did Finn do this?
No, I can't remember what.
No. Did Horatio have to do this?
No,
This is a
this is
debut.
the first. This is the inaugural round.
Yeah. Okay, go on then.
I don't know how much or how much to do. Let's do a category. Does anyone want to suggest a category?
Basically, you
What?
have to
Category
go
of what?
around naming something and taking a swig.
So it's like category.
Oh, this is the same as fucking Big John's game. What
Is
you
it?
say a name of a thing. What is wrong with you guys?
No, that's word association. I think.
Okay, so what's this one then?
It's just you just say something that's related to that category. That's not the hard bit of the game.
Okay, I'm
lose.
36 years old.
You lose.
How old are you?
25.
Fucking hell.
You lose when you spit out the vinegar, not when you can't think of anything.
Well, so you win by keeping it in your mouth.
Yes. Yeah.
Or unless someone else doesn't have a word.
Okay, so what? It's not word association. It's just
No, it's categories.
category. So give me an example. Go. You two do it.
No.
They're like Notties Premier League footballers.
Yeah.
Oh, Ginola.
And then
And then you drink
then
vinegar.
you-
And then you,
Swig.
after every answer, you top up the vinegar.
But why? I just.
I mean, it's a great question.
It is, yeah.
Let's just see how it goes.
I think you're putting on a great show. You don't need the vinegar.
Let's
Sounds
just
like a
do a
man
quick
doesn't
round.
want
Is this the
Vinegar.
Gen Zs need some sort of prank
Hey, look,
section?
Red, I'll go first.
Okay, go on.
Then you're going second. You do realise.
Yeah.
Cool. Right, here we go.
All right.
Let's do the category of African countries.
Oh God.
Zambia.
Nigeria.
Chad.
Oh my God. Oh, Sudan.
Congo.
Mozambique.
Malawi.
Oh,
Oh my God.
Niger.
Madagascar.
I haven't even gone yet.
I swallowed it.
This is not a great game.
Are you out?
I swallowed it.
I think he's lost. Yeah.
Oh, so I'm out. Oh, okay.
Do you swallow yours?
Mm. That's right.
Was that a success?
I mean,
My tongue burns, if that means anything.
My tongue burns. My throat burns. My
I've run
esophagus burns. My stomach is starting to burn.
yeah. I think my lid wasn't quite unsealed. So.
You got away pretty easy.
What, so you just put fuck all in there?
No.
You
I
were
was
taking
doing it. I was
fucking
doing it.
gulps.
Yeah, you were drinking it like you wanted it. I think you got a vinegar problem.
I quite like vinegar.
Yeah. No, I like it on. I like dipping bread in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that for the
How old are you then?
Dad.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
23. When did you get into comedy then? What are you?
Oh, thank you for considering me in
Yeah.
comedy. I mean, I'm barely.
You are. You're in comedy.
I got into it on my 20th birthday. So, we went on a night out. It was a first year of uni.
Yeah.
And I cracked on with a lesbian and got absolutely shut down. So classic stuff there. And then the next day I woke up and I had the beer shits badly.
Yeah.
And I had to wipe my arse with A4 because I didn't have any other paper.
Okay.
Because I'd used all the toilet roll and then I'd used all the kitchen roll.
Yeah.
So it was just white stock, A4 left over. I had to tear it out my notebook. So that was a low moment. So I made a video about that and that did quite well and then sort of took it from there.
Nice.
Yeah. I never looked back.
Did you go to uni then? Where were you?
Yeah, Bath uni.
Bath uni.
Yeah. The graduation is next week actually.
Well, so you're still there?
No, so I dropped out, but all my friends are graduating next week. So
Okay.
I'm going back for the party.
Yeah.
And I'm going to celebrate like I did get a degree.
Of course.
Yeah.
What did you do there?
Economics very boring.
Yeah.
This is new. People usually don't ask me questions on.
No, I'm just intrigued. Yeah.
So there we go. That was Vinegar Carousel.
Okay.
I hope everybody enjoyed that. I enjoyed it actually. I quite like vinegar. I might have a bit more.
Have you tried the posh vinegar yet? Give that a swig.
Balsamic.
Oh yeah, I'll have a swig of the best.
That's actually good, yeah.
I'm going to take one of these each home.
Oh, that smells delicious. Wow, that one comes out a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Ooh, that, you know when he just hits you in the pit of the stomach. Wow. Right, let's move on to our final segment now. This is Questionable, our viewer interaction segment where we ask you a massively important question and then we react to the best responses that have flooded the cesspit of my Instagram DMs over the past 24 hours. This week, we asked you, what's the best lie you've ever told? And these were your best lies. I managed to convince a girl I went to school with for 3 years that I grew up in America and transferred in year 7. I used the names of schools I knew from school shootings to sound believable. I told her I went to Sandy Hook Elementary and then Columbine High School. So...
Be the luckiest kid in the world, really.
Yeah,
depends how you look at it. The survivor's guilt.
Are you lucky or unlucky?
I mean, the trauma would be fucking unmanageable. Trust issues, big time.
I mean, it's incredible because you'd also have to be a time traveler. Let's not forget that.
Oh, yeah,
So,
shit. Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah. So, for years, I just fed her lies about life in America that she believed just to entertain 4 other people in my geography class, which it does.
Yeah, great. That's funny.
She believed that Osama bin Laden's clothes with bullet holes in them were taken on a tour around schools the same way the Olympic torch was.
The disabled kids gets to hold it.
Exactly. Yeah. I saw a guy carry the torch for a leg when they were running it around the country.
Okay.
And then he proposed right afterwards. I think the vibes would have been very different if he was doing Bin Laden's old T-shirt.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it depends who you are.
Yeah.
To some people, very romantic.
Do you think that the wife of the Navy SEAL who shot Osama thinks that's hot?
Yes.
Got to be, right? You're a hero.
Definitely in
I
America.
think for about a year she thought it was really hot. I bet he hasn't shut up about it since. She went,
It's a great anecdote.
Yeah, you did
You
it
would be
14
with-
years ago. But he probably got such a rush. He goes, who can I do it to now? You know, who would he be eyeing up now?
do you think like he's got to best himself?
Well, I think once you've done it once, you probably get such a taste for that level. But you know,
all downhill
his
from
mates
there.
hate him because you're not meant to say, I did this. Like, it was the Navy, the secret team, they're not meant to do it. And it's it's not part of the collective, so you're not meant to be like, I was the one. It's a team effort.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like, you know, not John Terry in the football kit when not playing, but he's whatever the opposite. You know what I mean? It's like he's celebrating when actually they were all meant to. And didn't they dispute it? Some of them said,
I'd be taking credit for it. Like,
yeah, I would as well. There's no way I keep my mouth shut.
Right, that must have been, I don't know if they like airdropped in or whatever, but that must have been the maddest dash because everyone's like trying to kill Osama.
Of course,
Yeah,
you'd
yeah,
be
yeah.
so in there.
Yeah.
friendly fire and
Unbelievable. You're fucking just kicking people out of the way. Trying to get
fucking kneecapping someone. You did it first.
You'd be shooting your own men. Because it is it's like, that's a big one. What did you do? I shot Bin Laden. Yeah.
I think you could eat off that for years.
Yeah.
Of course. It's massive. He can retire from that.
It's like having a really good debut album.
Yeah.
Not really knowing where to go from there.
I wonder if he's got cameo.
I would say so.
Yeah. You could have a little
There's a lot of
gun.
people that you wouldn't expect to have it that has it.
Yeah.
It would be weird getting a cameo from someone you have no fucking idea who they are until they have to say you.
Well, he did that. He did a big interview, didn't he? I'm surprised he's not been on Joe Rogan. I bet he's asked. He's asked, hasn't he?
Oh, 100%.
Why didn't we get him?
Joe Rogan?
No, not Joe Rogan. We need
What's he called?
Osama guy.
I don't know. Let me Google it.
Okay, you look that up and we'll note it down and we'll ping him a DM later.
Yeah.
Right. Next, actually, no, this one's not over. She also believed that the school made us carry handguns just in case, so arming children, and that a hot dog was its own animal.
Fucking hell.
Right.
Robert J. O'Neill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It's an Irishman. The fuck was he doing there?
Yeah.
next one. I got caught playing GTA when I was like 12. So not allowed, I guess.
Mm.
And my excuse was that I threw the disc in the direction of the bin and it curved like a frisbee into the PS4 disc slot. Dad believed it, Mum didn't. Really poor form from Dad there. Yeah.
He surely didn't believe that.
Got like a month of no games after that. I was suddenly good at frisbee though. So
That's where I finally realised that my younger brother wasn't gay. I caught him in the strip club in GTA whenever he was like 10.
Really?
I had my suspicions, but
Yeah. What was he doing in the street?
He was just
Was he giving a lap dance
taking it
to
up.
a man?
was he making it rain?
he was, yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever coin he had managed to save up in GTA, he was spending it.
Yeah.
Taking it all in. Like he's the Pope. He's just getting elected on the balcony.
And then I seen him do the taking a hooker in the car and then killing her after and taking your money back.
Yeah, that
That's the
was
classic.
always a sign of, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's got street smarts.
Yeah.
I never did that because I felt it was impolite.
Yeah, it's rude.
Yeah, it's a bit rude. It's like how I always, I say please to the AI.
It's dishonest. I saw my my mate's little brother stop for a red light on GTA. And I just went, you're never having sex in your life.
That might be the gayest thing you could do.
It's
It's up there.
Right. In my second year of university, my friend who goes by the names Bus Stop / MJ Big Willie, I don't know why, that's not relevant to this story,
Yeah.
convinced us that Dobby from Harry Potter was not CGI, but actually a Dobby-shaped plastic bag full of sausage meat. We were under the influence of various substances and were all fully convinced. So, there we go. My friend and I once convinced two girls in a club that we were about to become the captain and chief officer of the Titanic 2. Which I forgot they were building.
Are they actually building that?
Or did it get cancelled?
I
It
think
must. It's not a good idea, is it?
times.
Were they going to sail it right back in the same spot?
Maybe just avoid the iceberg or do it in the summer.
Well, ideally the iceberg would have moved.
Yeah, hopefully so.
And then if there was a Titanic 2 and that crashed, would then a
there's-
billionaire take his kid looking for the remains? It just keeps repeating itself every 300 years.
And there's still icebergs in summer, you know that, yeah?
Yeah, but assuming it's not going to be quite as big.
In the Arctic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's mental that that's what like Ireland or Belfast in particular is most known for, and it was a fucking catastrophic failure.
Is it?
Are you from Belfast?
I live like an hour outside it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that's what Northern Ireland is known
It's
for.
massively like all the.
There's a few other things.
Yeah.
A few other things in there.
More recent history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they've got like a museum and stuff for it, and it's like
Oh,
so
wow.
much tourist attraction. It's a complete
Mate,
failure.
Down like a mile from us is a penis museum. That's like saying, oh, Hackney's known for penises.
Yeah.
Belfast is known a lot more for the Titanic than you're giving it credit for.
To be fair, I'm never going to go there.
The IRA.
Yeah. Next one, classic. Albufeira Strip.
Yeah.
Picture the scene. 3 strapping young lads on the prowl. You can tell just by the phrase of that there's probably not...
Rapist.
Yeah. No game at all. So the plan was I am their agent and they both play for Crystal Palace under-23s.
Could have picked a bigger team. What,
Well,
if it's a lie.
Also, you've absolutely shafted it. Why have you got to be the agent?
Yeah, true.
That's like,
Yeah.
that's like, oh yeah, give me the back half of the horse. That's the role I want.
Maybe there's a reason for it though. Maybe he's like built like myself. It's not believable.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, he might be like.
So I've still got money. They won't believe that I'm a footballer.
He got club feet.
He's the only guy with a suit.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
He's got his dad's court shoes on.
Yeah. So the game was basically, I would keep shouting at them to stop drinking so much because they're playing a match next week. Long story short, we all went home and played K-hole hide and seek, which we might play on this show.
Yeah. See, that's more
We
fun.
have played hide and seek on this podcast before.
Who with? What was that with?
It was just me and Aidan, I think.
Yeah. I caught him pretty quick.
Yeah, it's fucking tiny.
Yeah, it was a flawed game.
You wouldn't have to move. To find
No,
You just lay on the floor there.
Yeah.
I thought he might look over me.
I initially
Yeah.
did, but then
Right, next one. On a tour with the Uni Music Society, so you know it's getting
Yeah,
lethal.
yeah.
Because I think I heard throughout uni, biggest societies, well, music always did it right.
Yeah.
They were getting up to
Okay,
business,
okay.
right. What is that? Sticking a trumpet up your arse? I don't know. They were staying in cabins on a campsite in France. Myself and a few others have been before, but it was mostly a new band. We convinced several of the band of the legendary Phantom Tugger from previous tour years. So the Phantom Tugger would go into your cabin whilst you weren't aware and have a cheeky tuggy. And it says in brackets here, potentially PBW, which is a nice little reference to this show.
Yeah.
You're a fan of a PBW?
What's the PBW?
It's pokey bum wank.
Okay.
Yeah. Sort of like a normal one, but you can finesse a pinky up your arse if you want. You don't have to.
Optional.
Yeah, when we do bring it up, it's important to say you don't have to.
Yeah. Sure.
It's not like you hear it.
Red?
What?
Have you ever had one?
No.
To try, like.
Not yet.
Yeah. Have you done it?
I think I might have when I was younger.
You done it on a plane?
No, not.
No.
that's
bit
not-
much.
Mile
plane.
high PBW.
Yeah,
Really
see.
combining with crossing fields here.
Yeah.
Venn diagram of masturbation.
Can you have a PBW posh wank?
Yep.
Have you ever had one?
But I think posh wanks are rubbish because why would I do that? What am I going to do? Impregnate myself?
Yeah.
So,
It's not even posh, is it? I don't know why it even got the.
because
Just because I can afford to waste a condom.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so expensive. Not that I would know. I hit it raw.
Yeah.
Apparently this is more common than I thought, but one of the people I live with in uni confessed to us that his whole life he just jizzed on his stomach and rubbed it in.
I'm sure that's more common than there's a lot of people out there.
Not sure about the rubbing it in bit.
Just
Yeah.
like rub it in, go to sleep, and then wake up the next morning and like peel it off.
Wow. I don't know if that story or the vinegar is really starting to get my stomach. I'm starting to feel quite ill now.
That is despicable behaviour. Like,
Right. Next one. I convinced my Indian friend that because I'm Northern European, I have a rare gene that causes my foreskin to grow back, meaning I need a yearly circumcision. So basically like a sort of penis haircut. Which is I would love to have that rare gene.
just to have it back for one.
Just to
more
have
day.
it back. Yeah.
Would you miss it then?
Well, I don't know. It's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's sort of a bit of a if my grandmother had wheels situation, but she doesn't, so she's not.
Is it more or less malleable, with or without?
I don't really know, and I think that
How did it come? Where did this start?
The use-
It's obviously been going on for thousands of years, but what's the?
I don't know. I'm still confused by the use of the word malleable in that last
Very
sentence.
Yeah.
And like whether it's better or worse. For
Yeah,
yourself.
but I think malleable means you can change it into a different shape permanently.
Yeah.
But you technically did. You cut the hood off.
I didn't.
Was it your parents' idea?
It wasn't like just like a bit of banter. It was
You're 15.
medical requirement.
Really?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what?
I didn't just. Oh yeah, have a go at that. Actually,
Yeah. Your dad didn't just say, "Look,
I'm not
I've
sure.
been
about-
thinking. I think you look better circumcised."
I feel better for me.
Son, me and your mother would really like it if you got circumcised.
That was not the chat.
No.
Can I ask
What
whether
was-
it was like a smegma situation?
What does that even mean?
That's the reason why a lot of people get rid of it, because it's cleaner.
Yeah, what? Because of the build-up of the schmegma.
I can confirm it was not a schmegma situation.
No.
But you know, maybe we should ask that next week. What's your biggest smegma situation? And we'll get people to write in with that stuff.
Oh, God.
Last one, so we can finally end it. Convinced an autistic girl hosting a house party that the spoon in my pocket was mine from home and not, in fact, her favourite spoon, which I nicked. Why are you nicking the
Yeah,
why are you
what
nicking
is
the
So
spoon?
how the fuck do you know that it's her favourite?
Yeah. Also, I think if it was her favourite spoon, she'd know.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think it's autistic to have a favourite spoon. I've got a favourite spoon.
Yeah, and autism.
But like, some of them are just better weights than others.
Yeah.
Or you get one like a fork that's unnecessarily long. You ever get those? It's just so fucking awkward to use.
Yeah.
I've got a favourite fork, but I'm more concerned about how did he conduct a fucking survey to find this out?
Right. You look like you eat your dinner with a pitchfork. so yeah. But there we go. That's the end of the final segment. Red, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
I wish you well. I understand you're travelling to Margate tonight.
Margate tonight, yeah.
Pulsating metropolis.
It'll be, yeah.
So that should be fantastic. You're doing a show. If there's anything you want to plug or say to the people...
I've got a YouTube special coming out in a few months.
That's all you want to say?
Red Richardson Comedy, Instagram. Follow me there.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the time this is out, you don't have to. Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
It's actually,
just don't unfollow me if you do. Yeah, whatever.
That's the worst. Don't turn your back on me. When we've been put on this.
Just
thing.
mute me. Let me think. Let me think you're still there.
Back to you in the studio.